everybody! Welcome back from the dead to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, and Disembodied Hand, Quincy, Disembodied Beard, John, and Kiki, who's sitting here getting good girls from me. Yeah, good girl. Do you want to come up and say hi? Do you want to come up and say hi to the stream? No? Okay, it's all right. You don't have to. You don't have to. You're a good girl. All right. Birthday girl. Yesterday was Kiki's birthday. She is 2 and doesn't act like it. You're a good girl. So if you didn't see, on the 26th, I finished the book. Hi there, Kiki. Rite of Winter is done. It is currently sitting while I finish Patreon for the month. And then on the beginning of the next month, while I'm figuring out the YouTube video, I will dive into the rewrite. Rewrite/edit. A rewrite is essentially just an intensive edit. Hi, dear Kiki. Hi, dear Kiki. Okay. All right, now I have to let you go. You have to let you go. Work. Oh, work. It's going to get really hot for us next week. We aren't suffering. We aren't suffering yet. But it'll be like, yeah, terrible twos. I know, right? You'd hope she would wait. Oh, no. Oh, I have to go put the fan on so the background noises aren't a thing. 1 second, guys. Let me put that on. No, I'm going to put on the fan so you can't hear. Yep. Yes, I don't want barky dumb dog. I don't. Nope, no barky dumb dog allowed. Nope. No barky dumb dogs allowed. It's true. All right. But yeah, sorry for yesterday, guys. I don't know what I did to myself. I have several hypotheses, but let's just say that like I screwed up my sleep so badly yesterday that I woke up at 3:30 and could not get back to sleep until 7. Like I was texting Quindy at or Discord texting Quindy at 5:45 a.m. going, yeah, this is not happening today. So, yeah, there was just no way. I couldn't. No. So David opened up the bathroom door. He usually leaves it open when he's getting ready to wake us all up and everything. And I'm like, close that. And then I'm like, rah, asleep. Rah. He's like, you were actually very, very, very clear. Kiki, no. Come on, go settle. Work, Bubba. But yeah, he's like, considering your state, you were actually extremely clear in your requests. But yeah, so he just hustled Kiki out and let me go back to sleep, and then I also got 2 hours of sleep in the afternoon. But it was, yeah, I mean, I'm back on the regular now, Twisted Oma, but I had to there's no way on 4 hours of sleep or less that I can engage in a meaningful manner with the world. It's just not happening. I was totally sleep deprived, and there was just no way. So once I had my 2-hour nap in the afternoon, I still felt wobbly. I was dropping things. I was just not happy. Not happy. Yeah, it is terrible. It's terrible for your body and your mind and your everything. It is. And usually, because I have a routine, and because I don't look at screens before bed, and because I do a stretching routine before bed, and, all of these things, I keep the lights lower, I do all the things to be able to, go to sleep on time and get good sleep, right? But sometimes, it's just you wake up, and boom! And your brain is lighting up, and you're just Although I actually have a new tactic now. I read about, especially because I'm reading about older athletes, and there's a lady who was a runner who was still running when she was 93, and still winning world records at 93. And she would wake up every other night at 3 in the morning, and she had a stretching routine that she would just do. She, in the dark, didn't turn the lights on, just kept her little tools that she needed, her massager ball and stuff, right on the table next to her. Then she would just do a really chill massage on herself, and then she would be able to go back to sleep an hour later. And so I'm all right, I can do this. So this seems like an actionable plan. Oh yeah, yeah. Pets are always gonna like do that kind of thing, Zachariah. Like I actually was more sleep deprived when I had a cat than at like I am now for sure. Oh yeah, usually if I like I'll do some box breathing and some meditation tips tricks and like I'll also kind of engage with my body and just like do kind of like the body relaxation meditation and that'll usually let me just go. If it's because I'm hungry, sometimes these days because I have cut calories, it's like I'll wake up and I'm just a little hungry. Um, I'll have a tiny snack and then I'll be able to drop off, right? But yeah, it's rare that I get a night that's just like it was before, and that's just not workable. Yeah, Tiberius Rex Esquire. Yeah. But yeah, it is very frustrating because you just lie there and you're trying so hard and it just won't happen, right? So I totally get because this happens to me every once in a long while, right? Usually just something's going on. But yeah, it's definitely painful. All right, was I using walnut for this? I think I was using walnut for the staff. I'm just going to block in the rest of the staff. We're going to be blocking in today. We're going to be blocking and starting some highlights, I think, on some of this stuff. Yeah, like a little cottage cheese is kind of what I tend to turn to in our, something like that. High protein, low fat, bit of carbs. Oh, my palette is upside down. Whee. But yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of things. But I like the idea of this massage technique because, for one thing, it's going to give you, like, it's good for you, right? Like, it'll also help just with muscle soreness and stuff from my working out and things in general. So it's totally, like, and good for your circulation, especially as you get older, I would imagine. So yeah, so I kind of like that idea. I think that's going to be my new tactic. That way, even though I'm awake, I'll be using the time in a relaxing and, productive manner that still isn't going to wake me up too much more than I already am, right? And hopefully the fact that it's like it's a relaxing kind of thing, it'll help me get back to sleep like it does her. Or did her. She passed away a while ago. But she passed away at like 94, and she did a track meet like days before. Like the weekend before she passed, she was at a track meet doing like all the things she normally does. And that's kind of the way, if I'm going to go, like, if we're all going to go, like, that's the way I kind of want to go. Like, doing what I want to do and doing the things I love to do, like, right up to the cutoff point. That's my goal. Hey, Roger. Alrighty, let's get this paint on. But yeah, I'm so thrilled to have the book done. I'm also, like, I'm really happy with the ending of the book. This is the thing, is like I always have doubts on the early part of a book. I think I'm always going to be like, oh, is this book just not going to be as good as my other books, and blah 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 blah. And I had so much time to work on the other ones, and I didn't have time, so much time to work on this one, and yada 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 brain, But at the end, I actually really like it. I like the story as it came out. It advances the storyline for Ash and Sadis, and like fills in some of the gaps and tells me how some things happen. So I'm pretty happy about that, actually. And it also gives you more information about magic. So like if you're reading also because you like the world building, more is revealed. And it also like brings one of our main antagonists for the series to the fore. So yeah, overall, I am happy with what I accomplished in the book. I feel like it is a book that has a purpose, and it does develop both main characters. I'm going to go with my Reaper Zero here for blocking in. Yeah, yeah, warm shower. Yep, helps with circulation. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, and I do that sometimes. I do that because I'll just because I work out late, and that's probably also part of the problem. Like because it's the running specifically. like, I had this problem briefly after I started CrossFit, but then it's like my brain, like, adjusted to it, and then it was back to sleeping just fine. When I first started CrossFit, I wasn't used to that level of, like, working in my zone 2 and above, and so it woke me up. It woke me up a lot. And so for the first little bit there, the first couple weeks, I'd say that after I started CrossFit, I had a little more trouble getting to sleep on time. But after that, now after CrossFit, I really have a relaxation routine that I just settle into, and I don't make myself do anything that's super engaging or going to get me like really excited or involved. So I've been able to like work with that. But with the running, this is a whole new level of like sustained cardio that actually changes your brain. I've done a lot of reading on this recently. Yeah, sinuses. Funny. Yeah, you might try a warm shower before bed, Tristodoma, and see if that helps relax you. But yeah, so I'm kind of split right now about my running. Like, I'm not going to stop. Like, I'll tell you that. Like, I went out on my, the last time I ran, I went out on just kind of my, I don't have time to go to the track. It was actually, it was when I finished the book, I think. Or no, it was right before. And we just got to dinner late, and so I didn't have time to go to the track, so I just did run around the neighborhood. And then I forgot my timing device. Here, let's get this in focus. And so I was just like, I just didn't even bother. I just ran like when I felt like running and walked when I felt like walking. With the result that I probably ran a faster mile than I ever have. Because I was just running. I'm able to run for longer than the whole, if I do 15 seconds on, 15 off, or 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I can run more than that. I understand that I can. I'm just trying to pace myself. So instead, I wasn't pacing myself on this one. I was just freaking running. I probably ran 3/4 of that route. And I also ran faster than I ever have before, because now that I keep proper running form, it doesn't hurt at all, and it's crazy how fun it is. Because I have this fitness level that I've built through CrossFit over the last year, and now I can use it. It's really crazy. It's just a whole mental shift for me. I've always hated running. I've always thought I was bad at it. I've always hated it. Now I'm still like abysmal. I know that the minute I step on like the course at that 5K, I'll realize how abysmally slow I still am. But I can do it. Like, I can do it, and I can even enjoy it. But boy, did that wake me up. Like, holy freak. I had energy. Like, me having energy at like 9 at night is crazy. I had to seriously talk myself down before bed. Like, it was crazy. And I also learned that it might be behind, the running thing might be behind my recent brain chillness. I think I mentioned to you guys, like, suddenly I was like, it was like somebody flipped a switch in my brain recently. And I'm not worrying about food anymore. Like, I'm just not. It's just like somebody unplugged the part of my brain that used to worry about what I was eating. Am I eating enough? Oh, am I going to get hungry? Oh, I need to eat something. Oh, that cookie looks good. Or, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of crap, the little internal food chatter in my head. It's like it all just like got unplugged. It all stopped a few days ago. And at the same time that happened, I think I mentioned to you guys, I just went to my closet and just picked out one of the models that I'd kept after I sorted out the stuff that I'm going to be selling. I just plucked out a model just off the top, and I just started it. And I'm not stressing about it. Like, I'm just going to paint the thing. I don't care. I'm like, there's no expectation. It doesn't matter how I paint it. I'm just going to paint it. Don't care. Before, I would have been like, oh, I have to do this, to a good standard, or, oh, am I going to enter this in a competition, or, oh, what am I going to push on this one, what am I going to try and make myself try this time? I would have had all that stupid chatter in my head, and this, I'm not. I'm just going to paint the model, and it's not even negotiable. Like, my brain didn't even consider Like, not just sitting down and painting the model. Like, it honestly, it feels like something has unplugged my brain from the freak out zone. I'm still capable of freaking out if my routine is upset. Like, I learned that yesterday. But it takes a lot to get me to the freak out zone now. Like, and all of the anal crap and expectation crap that I was, like, just the kind of freak out stress, mild stress crap that I was going through is gone. It's just, like, freaking gone. It's insane. So I looked up this stuff because I was like, what the heck is happening to me? And what I found out is something that is probably, like, commonly known in exercise stuff now, but I haven't, like, interfaced with that on a science level in a while. But when you exercise at a certain rate, like zone 2, what they call it, so like my jogging, when you do that, every time you do it, your brain actually rebuilds part of your hippocampus, which is your stress regulation, thingy in your brain. It totally deals with how you deal with stress. And when it essentially makes you build new neurons for your hippocampus. And when scientists looked at those new neurons, they found, in at least one study, that those neurons were more, like, resilient to stress. So I kind of wonder if that's part of it, because this is just so weird. I'm in a weird zone right now. It's like the Twilight Zone, Anne. It's, the honey badger approach, but it's a good honey badger approach, Derek. It's not like I'm apathetic. It's like I actually am interested in painting because I enjoy painting. This is very strange, everyone. It would be like if Luca, who doesn't own any models for himself and never paints for himself, suddenly had a brain change and, like, plucked a model that he really liked out of the pile of crap that he had to work on and just started painting it with total joy. Like, we would all, like, are you okay? Like, that's what I feel like. Like, it's weird. It's so weird. Understand that, like, the whole painting stress has been with me for years now. Since I started doing it for money. And the food stress, the whole, freaking out because I don't have enough, even though I have way more than I need. That's been with me since I was probably 10. And I don't know what else it could be than the exercise. I really don't. Like, I haven't changed anything else. Like, I mean, unless it's also cutting out sugar. I guess it could also be partially that. But there's actually scientific data that would point to exercise. Whereas I don't know that cutting out sugar... I mean, because I've cut out sugar before, right? I was on keto. And it didn't do this to me. And it happened at about the same time. The two things aligned pretty much the same. And honestly, living with David, like, that didn't help. Because, part of me always wants to impress David. Part of me always wants to show him that I'm still a good painter. Especially because I don't paint for fun much anymore, right? I don't paint for myself much anymore. A lot of the time I'm kind of burned out. And I feel bad about that too, because, we can hobby together, right? But sometimes I'm, like, most of the time up to now, like, I'm not looking forward to hobbying. I don't really want to engage with hobbying. I'm too tired to hobby. Like, all of those things over the last several years in the evening. Of course. Well, you know what? The Lego bricks are apparently stress resistant. That's all I'm going to say. It's crazy. It's awesome crazy. Don't get me wrong. Freaking awesome crazy. But weird. It's weird because it was so sudden. It was like, it must be like a tipping point. Like, if it is the exercise, it's like a brain tipping point. It's like I suddenly, like, by starting to run in addition to the CrossFit, I finally was doing enough that I tipped my brain over the brink into chill land, apparently. No idea. But it's so strange. Because I just don't do that. Like, I haven't been able to sit down and just enjoy my hobby and not think about, like, why I'm painting, how I'm, like I said, like, I haven't been able to sit down and paint for myself without a purpose, guys. I've had to have I want to finish this by Reapercon, or, something like that, right? Oh, I'm going to Adepticon and I need to finish this piece for Privateer Press Grandmaster. This year it was going to be Golden Demon, but I've actually noped out of Golden Demon this year. I've just decided it's not worth it to me. I'm doing too much traveling. Next year, I mean. Too much traveling this year in the fall, again, and I just don't want to do it. So David will probably go without me. I'll stay home and wrangle the Kiki. I doubt I'll have Critter done by then anyway, but even if I do have Critter done, I don't care. Critter can sit a year. It doesn't matter to me. But and it's funny, Derek, because you're right. It's the Tao of just do, but it's so hard, right? It's so hard to motivate ourselves. We rely, so many of us, and me included, up to recently, relied on a goal or a purpose or a deadline to motivate ourselves to paint, right? Because motivation, that's the problem. Pardon me while I get out my green and mix it up so I can do the rest of this vine. And that's Naga and Ancient Oak. And so, to be able to sit down just because I honestly want to sit down in hobby, it's something I haven't felt for a very long time. Very long. 20 years long. Like, maybe I would have, like, a single day of it. Like, here or there. Like, peppered through those past 20 years very infrequently. Which is a shame, right? I think we all understand the problem of, like, motivation, right? And I think often it just gets, oh, I should be painting. And thinking the should at yourself is, like, a great way to kill your ambition to do anything. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, I started this hobby because I really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed painting. And it's just been so long since I had that actual feeling. And now I'm getting it back, and I don't know why, and it's driving me crazy. Yeah, well, hey, I really, now I want more of you to take up running. Tell me if it does the same thing to you. Because, I was a walker for years, walking every day, but you don't get your heart rate up into that zone. Consistently. And even when I was starting, yeah, I don't know, because I wasn't, like, getting my heart rate up consistently for over half an hour. But now I've got this crisis because I really loved the energy I got. But that means, like, I should probably get up early to run, and that's just never worked for me. Not ever in the history of Anne has it worked for me to get up early to do a physical thing. Like, I love and depend on my sleep too much, and the problem is that David is a night owl. Like, I would have to talk David into the whole, we're going to bed a half hour early, and then I'm going to go to sleep at some point. You can stay up till 11:30 if you want, but I'm not. Like, I don't know if that's going to work. Right. Yeah, you should take a break. Oh, nice, Crows. Yeah, like, and I have not been painting for enjoyment for so long, and it's just weird that it's back now. I probably had some like leaf bud that I was using for this too, but for now we're going to use my Naga and Ancient Oak, and we'll just highlight it. We'll highlight it as we go. But yeah, like if you're only painting because you feel like you should and you're not like seriously enjoying it, like step back, do something else. The other thing that the running might have done about this isn't physical at all, by the way. The other thing I read about is this is from my Hidden Potential book, which I started listening to again. That book has like made me think about so many things. It's such a great book. I'm glad I'm gonna have to listen to it all over again when I'm done with it, just to like absorb the stuff that I like was like light bulb moment. But one of the things he notes is that one way, like if you're working hard on something, either your job or maybe it's just a hobby that you're dedicated to and you know that you want to do well and you've been doing a lot of, maybe the best way to actually get better at that hobby is to stop doing it and embrace a hobby that's completely different. And he points to just like some examples in the book. But the key thing is that it can't be too close. So like if you're a painter and you take up pottery, that's probably not far enough different. But like one of his examples was a pro baseball player who actually took up climbing and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, which is something I also want to do someday, by the way. I need to find a buddy to do it with me because I don't think David wants to. Jennifer was going to do it with me, but I haven't touched base with her on that for a long time, so I'll have to see if she's up for it. You have to be pretty in shape to do it, because the altitude and the temperatures and everything else, it's not a hard climb in that you don't need ropes and grappling hooks, but it's a hard climb because of the length of time, the elevation, and the temperature change, and the environment, and the thin air, and all of that. But apparently his baseball improved exponentially after he like took up something that had nothing to do with baseball. And I'm wondering if that's what running is doing for me. Like, because all of my side gigs, my side crafts, are all crafts still, right? The writing is still a creative endeavor that I have to do, and I slowly build something, just like the painting is, right? And it takes concentration, the same type of concentration that my painting does. I need to immerse myself in it. I think it's the brain states when I'm writing and when I'm really in the zone painting are very similar. But running and even knitting, right? Same thing. I'm like doing something with my hands. I'm sedentary while I'm doing it. I'm focused while I'm doing it. It's the same kind of thing. But running is completely different. So I kind of wonder if I really just needed to get really involved in something that was completely different than all of my other sedentary creative pursuits to give me like excitement again about those things. Yeah, I am aware of Dogfather. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'd say just exercise when you can. I mean, I'm going to try it again tonight, but I'm just going to go earlier. Like, I'm going to make sure that dinner is ready right at 6. And then I'm going to go to the track, like, immediately. Like, I'll probably even dress in my running gear before I do dinner so that I have less of a lag. And I can get over there and I can get my run in and get home, like, before 7:30. I feel like that should give me enough time to chill, but I'm going to see, right? If I can't get to sleep until 12:30, then I'll know. As long as I don't wake up at 3:30. But yeah, I'm just going to have to find a way. And if it does keep me up too much, it's fine. It's Saturday tomorrow, right? I can just deal with it. But if it does wake me up too much, I'm going to have to try that morning thing. I dread it. But yeah, I think the main thing is just find the time you can that will work the best it can. Exercise is so important. Like, I have come to realize this so much. I'm very thankful to my parents for like giving me a great walking ethic, right? Without them to set that example, I wouldn't even be in as good a place as I am now. I would have had a lot harder road to get to where I am. But because I had been at least used to exercising, you know, I'd been used to making time to exercise every evening, like nonstop. Especially after all my surgeries, when I swore that I would never ever be in the hospital again through any fault of my own. Like, that was, I really owe my folks for setting a positive example on that. But another thing this is proving to me is that it's not too late. It's never too late. Like, you can start moving now, and it's going to improve your quality of life. Like, you have to do it smart. You have to start slow, especially if you haven't done anything. Maybe you just do some balance work, right? You don't even do anything other than like body weight. Maybe you just do some yoga. Maybe you just do, you know, something that fits for you. But moving more. Even just standing while you work, like, I don't know if I buy this study, but they're like, if you stand and work at a standing desk for 2 hours, it's equivalent to taking a 2-hour run as far as your body is concerned. I don't know if I buy that, but I can see how it's good for you, right? I've been using my standing desk more lately. So, okay, we've got those vines just kind of mapped in here. Oh, and there's leaves down there, so I can paint those. But yeah, the best thing, I mean, I'm so happy that I started CrossFit. Like, CrossFit has given me, like, that high-intensity cardio has really reshaped kind of the way that, like, my body works, and it's made doing this solid-state cardio easier. That looks like, that might not be a leaf, but this is a leaf, maybe. I don't know. It's so hard to tell if these are leaves. I think that's just wood, so I mispainted it, but that's fine. I have my walnut, so I'll paint over it. Yes, the standing desk is important. Like, now that I understand how important the standing desk is, how much muscle tone we lose through sitting all day. It's super important. Good for you on using the standing desk, Dark Father. You can do it. It's not easy, I know. What I learned is that it's okay to keep a box underneath it so that I can put one foot up and then the other foot up and essentially fidget with my feet. And the other thing I learned to do is to, like, kind of tense up my glute on the side that I'm standing on, which helps support your back. Tricks for using your standing desk without going crazy. But yeah, I actually finished the book at the standing desk. Rite of Winter was finished standing up. I still have to write my author's note. Oh, HM Road Dog, I almost missed it. Subscribed with the Prime for 51 months. Thank you. Thank you. How about you, Derek? I know you do distance biking. Are you still in? Are you still in the chat? Like, you biked across the USA. Like, would you say that was like zone 2 exercise? Was your heart rate, like, pretty high, or was it more easygoing? Like, did you notice an effect on your sleep, or, although you've been more fit than me for a while, so I don't know if maybe this is old hat to you. Yes, you heard the words book and finished. I finished it on the same day that I finished West of the Moon last year. I finished it on the 26th. But then I was, like, indisposed yesterday, so nobody knew. Nobody knew until today. The book is done, and I am happy with it. I will be happier with it after I rewrite it so that it makes sense. But yeah, Richard, so the rewrite's got to happen first, and then I'll be touching base with all you people. You beta readers. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's good. It's good to, like, prove to myself that I can write a new book. I mean, I had hoped to write more than one in the year, but hey, guys, after writing my previous 2 books in 10 years, I just wrote a book in a year. And it was less than that because I was so, like, turned around, and I was working on a totally different book for the first 3 months of the year. Running 2 to 3 miles. Oh, nice! Sweet! Cool. When you first start, do you remember back to when you first started doing this sort of thing, or have you always been, like, fairly athletic with cardio, Derek? I just wonder if you, like, notice that you're really awake after you do it, or... Because it, like, really, really boosts my energy. Super energy boost. Better than caffeine. Oh yeah, you still stay up to 1 to 2 a.m. most nights, but you sleep well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, because especially, yeah, depending on when you exercise. Yeah, I could never run before because my knees would always hurt me, or my feet would. But lately, I've been doing exercises for the feet, and I learned how to run right. I learned proper running postures. Now, it doesn't hurt, and it's super awesome. Haven't noticed? Okay. Everybody's different, so that makes sense. Yeah. Why don't you take up the bag again? I mean, you don't have to, like, do full kickboxing, right? You could just do boxing, Dogfather? Or hit the kettlebells or whatever. You just have to probably start out a little lower than you were, just because I don't think you said you haven't done it for a while. I bet you could do it. I bet you could pick it up again. I have faith in you. Especially because you enjoyed it. Like, you bring it up. I know you enjoyed it. Kiki's officially 2 yesterday, Pendrake. She had her birthday dinner. I cooked her a chicken breast and mixed with cheese. Cheesy chicken breast is what she got chopped up on her regular food for supper. She was very into it. Chicken is one of her favorite things. Ah, you miss teaching. You don't have the time to do that now, I suppose. Because you said your job takes up a lot of time. So again, I'm using a very dark color on this staff because I almost always do on weapon accoutrements like staffs because I don't want them to be loud. I don't want them to really pull the eye. So I'm keeping this downplayed, and when I highlight it, it'll be a little bit more grayed out, probably a little more muted than some other stuff, so that we can bring out the texture, but we're not going to be distracting people from the main model. I bet that's going to change as time goes on, though, Dogfather. Like, if you keep in it, if you just, like, if you start doing it on your own and keep yourself, like, up with it, you know, get into better shape, you know, just re-embrace your routine. Like, these days, like, the stigma against older athletes is really vanishing. Because so many people have taken up activity in their older years to get, like, to just live longer and a higher quality of life. I mean, you have people in their freaking 90s hurling shot puts these days. and people in their 90s setting like world records in age scaled times that would be a new overall world record if they were 20. I think I'm in love with Masters athletes. Like, I'm just like, the fact that these people go out there in their 80, I mean, anybody over 35 technically is considered Masters. Like, same in CrossFit. But like, the people who are out there in their 70s and 80s, like, setting new world records for their age groups are just like, I'm fascinated. I think it's amazing. Staves and staffs. Yep, I don't know. But yeah, the other thing to consider, Dogfather, if you if you hit your retirement and you've gotten yourself like back into it and you're like you feel you're in a place where you can teach again, like the thing to consider is that there are probably people like you out there looking for an instructor who's more their age who want to get into that. Because people are understanding that building strength and like getting explosive power like that, you know, like that's what CrossFit does for me, and it's just good for you. Ah, knee pain when running in college, biking was your cardio. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't. I thought about. I tried barefoot running too, but my feet were just too. I've got. I think I'm still like weigh. I weigh a little bit too much for that. I may go back because I have barefoot running shoes, with like no soles, if they have no soul. But seriously, yeah, but yeah, I feel like if I lose like this extra weight, I'm gonna be in a better place to do a lot of things. So that's the goal right now. The running is really, I took it up to help me with that, but I did not expect to absolutely love it, and I absolutely love it, guys. Like, I could get addicted to running. Like, maybe I'll change my mind as I get, you know, as I start speeding up and like, you know, pushing myself more with it. But being able to run without pain is like a revelation for me. And my brain adores it. Like, it's just all it wants to do. All it wants to do is think about it. It wants to sit and happily plan how we're going to run at the track tonight. Yeah, I mean, think about it, Dogfather. That would be a positive thing, while you are trapped in your job. That would be a positive thing to think about. Like if you started working with the kickboxing again, real slow, just start picking it up. You know, but you could do it with an eye toward that. Like go, all right, I'm going to make this a goal and slowly get back in shape because there's no rush, right? And then, you know, I'm going to be in a position, if I want to teach again, I can when I have the time. Like, that sounds like it would be really good for you. I know it's hard when you've been in shape to like see that, you know, to see that shape taper off, but it's not too late to get it back. I'm almost done with this. Yeah, if you instructed when you were 50, like honestly, when I see an older athlete who is totally kicking my butt, like, I am so impressed. Like, I am not thinking, you know, oh, that person's old. No, I'm just watching them utterly kick my ass at, you know, pull-ups or at deadlifts or at whatever, right? I have a guy in my CrossFit class who's always there. Bill has been, like, coming to CrossFit for over 15 years. And he's in his 60s, and he has no problem dumpstering me at any challenge we have in CrossFit. I cannot think of a single thing I am better than Bill at. And he started in his 50s. just like I did. So if I keep with it, when I'm 65 or whatever he is, maybe I can like be that kick-ass. But yeah, I feel like these days the stigma against older athletes is pretty much evaporating because with the advent of like things like CrossFit that really aren't going to separate you out by age or anything, you're just all there in the gym together. You get a real read on the fact that you do not have to be 21 to be amazing anymore. Oh, nice. Yeah, easing back in, especially with HIIT, that makes sense. I mean, HIIT is pretty much what CrossFit is about, except for our weight training portion. I've pretty much picked up a bunch of books by older runners now that I'm like chewing my way through, and the latest quote that sticks out, and it's probably true of everything, is like just like the progression. It's like you need to be in shape to run. Like you need a certain amount of physical in shapeness to run. You need to run to be able to train, and you need to train to be able to race. And so you could take that and throw it at mini painting and like really show it is a progression, right? You learn your fundamentals in order to be able to paint. You learn to paint in order to push yourself. You learn to push yourself in order to excel, right? That's essentially the progression with almost everything. And it's always in stages. We're never brilliant out the gate. You know, it takes a little bit of work. Let me grab a Kleenex. Apparently there's stuff in the air that is trying to kill me today. When do you take your allergy pill? It's been a while. Although maybe you don't need it if you're stuck in the AC. Although AC, going from AC to out in the world always actually exacerbated my allergies. There we go. Okay, we've got that blocked in. Let's get some blue. Let's figure out where we're going to do blue, the blue of the hair, and bring it down to the waist here. Why did you want to burn it? That seems silly. Okay, I want turquoise and Ridderlich blue. People, Ridderlich blue, bright turquoise. That's our mix, plus a little bit of white. All right, so this is mostly Ridderlich. It's going to have a drop or two of the turquoise in it just to warm it up. Because Ridderlich itself is pretty, I mean, it's a green, it's built off of a green shade phthalo, but it could use some help because it's got the black in there to cool it down. Oh, I see. Well, that's perfect. Like, we regularly call our gym master a sadist. If people are calling you the devil, you're doing it right. It should be doable, but not easy. That's what CrossFit has taught me. If you're going to grow. I guess you could apply even that to painting. Like, when you're trying to do something, it should be doable, but not easy. Like, you shouldn't feel overwhelmed by a technique, by trying a technique, but it should still challenge you to do it right. Whereas if you try something and you're just fighting it and struggling with it so much, then maybe you gotta understand that, okay, this isn't the technique for me right now, and you gotta table it and maybe go a step back from that technique. And this is so true in this hobby where everybody wants to run before they walk, right? And it's cool to try. Like, it's cool to try a new thing, even if it's above your level, just to see if you can do it. Like, that's absolutely cool. But if you are struggling with it to the point where you are getting frustrated and really disheartened, That's where you have to stop and say, okay, this isn't the time for this right now. Like, it's one thing to give NMM a go and just go, oh, well, that kind of looks silly. I can kind of see that I almost got it, but I didn't quite, and just laugh and move on after giving it your best shot. It's another to, like, sit there and be frustrated about it and go, like, consider giving up the hobby because you're so frustrated. So I did 3 drops of Vertilic, 2 drops of bright turquoise, and a half a drop of white. And I think I was mixing that with walnut to get the dark shadows on the blue up here, so I'll consider that for my shading on anything down below. So let's figure out where I want the blue on this. But yeah, like, I've had people, like, talk to me and say, oh, I agonized over this, I tried so hard, and it really was frustrating me, and I just couldn't make headway, and it's like, well, then don't, like, just do something else. Because it's like, it's different if you feel that you can push through. But if you're like, I need help because I've like beat my head against the wall so many times on this. And it's like, well, some of the help we can't give you. Some of the help is just, you've just got to paint more. Nobody likes to hear that. Everybody wants the magic bullet. Sometimes there's no magic bullet. Sometimes you're just not, like, your skills aren't quite there yet. Doesn't mean they won't be there, but you may need to work at it more. David's a good teacher, though. Like, and somebody said before, like, the best thing about David's classes is he goes around and gives everybody, he explains things well, but then he goes around and gives everybody feedback and corrections as they're working. So I'm wondering if I did something wrong by not doing the fur around the cuff here, guys. Like, I thought it looked like leather instead, but in retrospect, I'm kind of thinking it's actually fur, and I should have colored it that way. So I may need to go and correct that at some point. So I'm going to make the inside of this belt blue and see if it's too much. Since blue has turned out to be our accent color. It's all in the highlights and shadow placement, Pendrake. I'm just ignoring her now. Hey, Keeker, what's up? Hello, come here. Hello. Come on. Well, fine. Yeah, you had your chance. Lately, she's been barking to get attention, so I'm just treating her. She doesn't give my negative attention anymore. She's a smart dog, and when it doesn't work, she stops. Yeah, NMM is just like, it's nailing the highlights and the shadows. And you can do any color and any brush stroke, even stippling, and still have it look like metal if you nail your highlight placement and your shadow placement. But that's the hard part, because that's what makes it a conceptual technique, is because it's not a mechanical technique. It's not about your brush stroke. It's not about the thinness of your paint. It's about understanding light. No, those were full blown barks. You just my mic is good. Think I'm gonna skip David's friend's 4th of July party this year. Again, I skipped it last year because I wasn't sure the Keeks could handle the fireworks. And I'm gonna skip it this year because it's just so late. And I still want to kind of see how she'll handle the fireworks. If she handles them fine, then I'll consider going next year. Yeah, what even is light, really? Right. And sometimes you need to, like, just step back and start looking at metal again. Like, when it clicks, you'll feel it. Like, you'll know. I'm going to block this in, and then I'm going to back up and kind of look at it and feel like if I'm got too much or if it's okay. I think that's going to be okay, because her hair is still like much larger area and it leads up to the face. The blue is relatively small, but it helps liven up the color scheme. Okay. Yeah, we'll stick with it. Yeah, and when it falls apart, it's just that either your highlights aren't consistent or your shadows aren't consistent or in the right place. Usually if you're really struggling like that, it's gonna be on a piece of metal that's got an unusual shape. Like if you're otherwise, like, you know, like you do a sword and you're fine, but you try to do a shield and you just can't do it. And that just means like your understanding is limited, and just like that it'll take time for you to understand how it works around that particular surface. There are still very complicated surfaces that I have to like use a visual reference for. And the easiest way to do it is to like prime the model white, or if it's metal, leave it metal. Put a piece of colored paper under it and put a bright light on top of it from the direction that you want the light to be coming from, and then take pictures. Or if you just need like one piece, if it's just one piece that's bugging you, like just look at it and go, oh, all right. So there are times I still have to actually look at it in real life and try to shine a really bright light on the model and see where my shadows should be, or my highlight. I usually have my highlights just fine. It's usually positioning of shadows on really, really elaborate armor pieces. And that's the only time I run up against a what the heck am I doing here kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, the answer is just to paint more of it and to really look at, I mean, like I said, I go to Renaissance fairs, or I used to, and I would take pictures at the armorer's shop and at the weapon blacksmith shop, and just so I had references to remind me. But like, don't just beat your head against the wall. Take a break, think about it, go look at places. Ask a local blacksmith if you can come and look at their stuff. There's a lot of, thanks to Forged in Fire, there's an awful lot of smiths around these days, knife makers and stuff. Alrighty. Now I need to get some of the leather in. I think I want to make these leather caps blue though. Well, and if that happens, just back off it. Say, this is not the time for me to try this. Or if you froze, it's probably a fear thing. Freezing is a fear response. So essentially, that is probably a response to your belief that you can't do it, or your nervousness about it. At which point, you either just kind of at least base coat it and try to put a highlight on it, or you just go, I'm going to work on the other part here and not on the NMM. It's perfectly fair to do that in a class. You can do it. I mean, you are paying for the instructor's time, but if you choose to use that to work on a different subject... Oh, sorry for the helicopter. That sounds like one of the big military ones. With multiple rotors. Yeah, I had one in Denton, too. Made the suits of armor for Reaper that we had on display. I don't know if I want that. No, I don't. I don't know, Pendrake. I don't know these names of these things. I don't care. It's just a helicopter. It had multiple rotors, that's all. There we go. Alright, I'm going to put blue on this, but I'm not going to do that. Because this crosses over the other blue, I'm going to make these a regular leather color. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to look it up and look for a picture of it. I'm not that interested in helicopters. My dad used to fly them. A long time ago. Alrighty. Now let's grab a regular leather color. I'm going to do actually ruddy leather for the rest of these because I've already got like dark leather on here. I don't want to go with a pale leather because it's going to be too close to the color of this fur. And so I'm going to go with ruddy leather. Is kind of, those are kind of my, like, in my head, those are my choices. It's like I have the darker brown leather, the lighter tan leather, like leather brown, and the reddish leather in the middle. So I tend to reach for one of those. I kind of classify my leathers as those three options, and so if I have to use more than one leather on a piece, I'm going to alternate between those three. I've got a brand new bottle of ruddy leather. Wow. Yeah, it's a good color. I tend to use it selectively. I tend to prefer a darker leather for most of my pieces because I don't want to draw the eye too much, but if I'm working on something with blue or green, then I do like to use ruddy leather. And since this model has both blue and green, it certainly won't go amiss, and it won't be too close to the other leathers. There we go. And then I gotta kind of back up and kind of look and judge whether that is the color I want, but I think it's gonna work great. I'm gonna be doing the pouch there also, and probably some of the little straps. So it's different enough, it shows up, but it's not gonna be too distracting once I put it in more than one place. I'm also, I think, gonna put it up here on these straps across the teeth. Because remember, even though it's a brown and thus somewhat of a neutral, I like to repeat colors. So essentially all of these little pieces that still remain in the white of the original model, I'm going to be filling in with colors I already have used. So like the little necklace band, the band's holding the teeth in. There we go. We got a couple of these little knots that could be beads. These little light things. I could put those in blue, or I could just keep them the leather. Kinda. I know I've got green. I could put them in green or blue. I guess I'll do the blue. And I'm also going to do actually blue with this line down the front, I think. Since it's so thin, it's not going to be distracting. Actually, I'm going to do the line first and then make the decision on those beads or wraps. I was working on a metal model last night and I was reminded how much pain it was. So much pinning. So much pinning. Pinning. Tons of mold line cleaning and pinning. And now I'm going to have to do green work on it. I swore to myself that after this I'm working on something resin. Alrighty. Yeah, that works. It kind of connects the hair to the belt. But I definitely don't need blue up here then, I think. I'm actually going to go green with those little knots. She is a druid after all. I can put more green on her. The level of detail on this model, especially considering it was originally sculpted for such a small scale, is pretty impressive. I didn't lose weight this week, but I lost inches, or bits of inches. So I'm very happy that I decided not just to weigh myself, but also to measure myself on this slimming the Anne journey. Okay. And again, I'm just going to alternate various things. I'm going to make the little cord that ties this pouch shut green. Yeah, progress is progress. I'll take the inches. I want to fit in like new clothes. I want an excuse to run to. I'm not going to trade out my wardrobe for a while. Like I had my old wardrobe for a very long time. The last time I lost substantial weight. Like I just started like replacing little bits and pieces. But like, if I lose enough, I'll let myself buy a new running outfit. I bought myself running sunglasses. I'm horrible with sunglasses, so I've only ever, for years now, I've only let myself buy super cheap, like fall apart sunglasses. So it was nice to find a sunglasses company that makes them for like sport, like running, skiing, all that kind of thing, but that is actually like, they're well constructed, but they're not expensive. Like, like some of those sunglass companies, like you want to pay $100, $200 for a pair of sunglasses? No way. But this company, I paid $30, and the glasses are great. I love them already. Let's see. Tie there, I think, is also going to be green. I might decide against that, actually. The green isn't working for me. And the problem is that I've kept the green to mostly be visual cue for natural materials, so I think I'm going to actually go blue here. And if I don't like it, if it's too bright, then I'll go elseways. Go with something more neutral. Yeah, that looks better. But yeah, I dug up my old measurements from when I was 160 pounds, which is right before I moved out here, before the pandemic. And I made those my targets. And mostly I'm more worried about those than about poundage, because I have added a lot of muscle, and muscle is heavy. Alrighty. Sweet. Excellent, excellent, excellent. How about this water thing? I think the water thing is going to have to be ruddy leather. don't want to make it green. I think green would be the wrong color. Oh, Ray-Bans are already too expensive. Yeah. No, I paid $30 for these. They're a brand called Gooder. So good plus an R on the end. And they sent me a case with them that has pink flamingos on it. So I'm in love. They actually are kind of nerdy. They have a sunglass color called Wizard Dreams that is a like light blue, like with shiny like rainbow lenses. And they have a wizard. They have somebody dressed as Gandalf, like modeling it on their website. This company has a sense of humor and I like it. I got very boring ones from them because I just like a tortoiseshell with a brown lens, but it's just a really well-made pair of glasses. And it's got a really good finish. Like it's got a really almost soft feeling finish on it. It's like meant not to bounce or slide on your face when you're running. I wore them to the store yesterday. They were so comfy. And I like them. My normal pair of sunglasses is not as big, so they don't block the light as well. And these are really nice and lightweight too. Yes, Gooder. Oh, you have their sunbathing with wizards. Yeah, light blue gold mirror lenses. Derek owns the Gandalf ones. I don't know if they'll do prescription. I think they might. It'll be more expensive, obviously. I don't remember when I was reading it. But yeah, sunbathing with wizards. Yes, I got the hound dog ones. Hold on. The Basset Hound ones. And I haven't had, oh, they will do prescription. Yes, yes. Oh, I don't need that original. There. Oh yeah, so they have super funny names. And yeah, they're between 25 and 30. Oh, I like the We Are Shocked. I like the tiger with the purple. I got a tortoiseshell. I'm boring. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, they've got so many cool ones. So many cool ones. I found them just by Googling like sunglasses for running. Those totally sound like your groove, Derek. The sunbathing with wizards. I think it was the Basset Hound Dreams. I don't remember. I don't remember which ones. I thought I just got the... It doesn't have a search function for some reason. Oh, the Everglades one is cool. Oh, they have different ones for national parks. Oh, limited with little graphics. The Everglades one is green. Neaty, cool. Ah, yeah. Bosley's Basset Hound Dreams. So they're a classic tortoiseshell. They have a virtual try-on, so like you can click the button and put your face up, and it'll use your camera to figure it out. I like the lilac ones. I need to, now that I know I really like it, I like the brand. I need to order a pair of really, really like shiny ones like yours, Derek. Bye, Crowley. Yeah, have a great weekend. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, by the way. At least I'm planning to. But yeah, so if you're looking for a pair of good sunglasses and you don't want to pay a fortune, but you want to pay more than the usual, like 10 or 13 bucks you get, you know, at CVS. Although these days, probably those are more like 15 or 20. You could pay a little more and get really cool sunglasses from a company that has a sense of humor. And they were pretty prompt on shipping too. I think I got them like 4 days after I ordered. I was super excited. That's really funny that we have the same brand, Derek. Really, really funny. I think I like the lilac ones better than the wizard ones, though. But then you're more of a wizard than I am. And we still haven't figured out the bit around her shoulders, but I think I'm going green with that. I need to prime the... that's right, we need to sand that too. Maybe I'm going to stop where I am. Since I base coated, I don't want to mix up... I don't want to mix up the gold base color right now because it's the end of the stream. But I do want to grab my little sanding thing and sand that... Did I stick them in here? I should have stuck them in here. Now I don't know where I stuck my poor little sanding things. Darn it! It's probably running around on my desk somewhere, and I have no idea where. This is typical Anne. Typical Anne. Where is my thingy and my... There. So I need to cut a new one. Yeah, the naming is fantastic. Oh, yeah. Fun to go through the various colors. Yeah, I bet. That would be fun. I'm going to get a bright and shiny pair for running, I think. Because I ordered myself a visor for the race, for the 5K that I signed up for. Because I need something against the sun. And then I ordered those, but now I'm thinking, maybe I want... Because my visor is fluorescent yellow, because I love fluorescent yellow. So maybe I need glasses that will, you know, vibe with that. I don't know. Need is a strong word. I'll have to hold off and think about it. All right. So we've got our little sanding thingy. But yeah, the naming is awesome. I think I want the purple ones, but I'll have to think. Maybe I'll run with mine in the 5K and then I'll decide. Maybe it'll have to be a reward for finishing the 5K. So this is 1,000 grit. We're just gonna lightly rub at the green work and get it to blend in just a little bit more. Maybe a little harder to get down in here. But this is also in shadow, so it's not as important that it be extremely smooth. I did get a little bit in there. Yeah, I don't like normal ball caps like David wears like baseball caps when we hike. But I really don't like that because my scalp sweats like crazy. So I finally gave in to my mother's clan and got this visor. It's a super hyper lightweight one. It even folds, scrunches up, so it'll go in your pocket. There we go. All right, now I can paint over that. And actually, that's black and brown. I don't have that mixed up right now, so we'll have to come back to it. But look at, we're getting blocked in. We're like so close to actually like looking demi, like we're close to maybe getting close to done. Like, you know, like once the model gets blocked in, I'm like, okay, now it's just highlighted and let's go. Let's go. So we have some silver things, like all of the little connector rings I want to be steel. I want to do this metal, the butt cap metal. This will be gold. Edging will be gold. I know what color everything is from here on out, so it's much easier. There we go. Just get that cap like blocked in as something darker. Alrighty. Yay! 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 I feel like I might like actually get this done at some point. Oh man. Yeah, but the colors, I think you're, yeah, I'm happy you think so too, Turgeon. I think the colors do look really good now. Everything is moving around the model pretty well. If I slide this out of the way and back up, I'm as far back as I can get. But yeah, I think everything looks good as far as colors go. Yeah, it's just a huge, long project, right? So that's great. That's very, very good. I'm very happy about this. Excellent. Excellent. So, Monday, we are back to Dude. Awesome dude. Super fantastic dude. Probably working on the back and the side here. I also realized that I didn't apply a color anywhere on his front, like the dagger here. Like, this is just totally not colored, so I probably want to go red there. So I need to deal with that. So yeah, and there's more metal that we need to figure out as well. So yeah, dude is almost done too. Then we'll have to go to the school of basing on him. Yep, Torch Guy. Torch Guy! And I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, I think, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on. Really, whatever my guts want to work on. I think I might want to work on the Barbarian Girl, because we did a bunch of the basing on her last time. She just got a little bit left. You'll be there, yeah. Well, if you're not there, Quindy, it just doesn't go on. It's not a show without Quindy. But yeah, we also have all sorts of other things. I still need to prime Critter, who got all of his green work done. Critter's like ready to leap. Ready to leap. I probably need to stick him down on something, just like tack him onto a base so that I can paint him more effectively. Unless I want to put him in bubble wrap. Maybe then we'll do that. Maybe he'll remember it. That would be cool. I will be here whether you guys are or not. Hanging out. Me and Quindy will hang out. Yes, of course. Yeah, I'll be in touch on the book. Once the book is got its rewrite underway, I'll reach out to you, Turgeon, and all of my awesome beta readers. And we can get this thing going. All right. Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. I hope you have a great one. I hope I'll see some of you tomorrow, and if I don't, then I'll see you on Monday, all right? Thank you, Quindy, for running this show, and I will see you guys later. Adios.